This is the convenience drop box for Vista Utilities. Vista Utilities is 36 South 4th Avenue. Right here and here across from, of course, you can't miss it, Ace Hardware and the dentist office. And also Sackman, Steve H. Sackman, which is the utilities office here in Othello, Washington. Address is 36 South Avenue, Vista Utilities, here in Othello, Washington. And this is a Vista Utilities Othello main office here in Othello, Washington. Every time we come inside the office, 36 South Avenue, the drop box convenience is here, and also the service they have, and that's Secretary of State Kim Wayman, Secretary of State. Kim Wayman's the representative state for business offices, like the services they have at the Cimaron 5 INC Banquet Party Art Restaurant Bar and Motel. Now the Vista Utilities, the billing inquiry, manifest record, the services they have. For use of Vista Utilities, you have an account number, and the account number is connected to the India Cuisine, which is the Cimaron 5 INC, the Banquet Party Hall Restaurant Bar and Motel. You got a laptop on your convenient for your scanning your mail and paying online. You go to City Hall at 500 East Main Street, Othello, Washington, which is City Hall in Othello, Washington. And that's a police station, and the next door police station is City Hall. That's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. That's Yvonne, Hernandez, and Bonnie. Bonnie is facility garbage, sewer, water. And also, Yvonne Hernandez is the same. The abstract record, your UBI number, your business UBI, like Cimaron 5, which is Sunset Acres, and the property that was on the property on the other side of Sunset Acres into Highway 2617. That merges into the highways, 17 on Main Street, which is 1400 Main Street. And that Main Street connects to Cimaron 5, which is Sunny Farms. And then that Taco Bell property that belonged to Cimaron 5, and the property that, which is now a parts store. And that parts store, there's the AutoZone, and then there's Taco Bell, and then Taco Bell got Riley's, and Riley's belonged to Cimaron 5, and also that property that now is a real estate office, H&R Block, Verizon. Now that Verizon building is now expanding out, and it's another area, which the tobacco shop, or the tobacco and the alcohol liquor store, is getting a little bigger. Originally, that was going to be built at Sunny Farms, or Sunset Acres, on Highway 26, along with the railroad, and the railroad, and the railroad, and there's a fence line. That fence line that I put up at Sunset Acres, and that railroad that can become an Amtrak station, which is Royal City and Ephrata. See, that Amtrak station could be an Amtrak station and also a service for the community. And that entranceway, that's Carol J. BENZEL. Down the road, the Department of Transportation, that highway, as more as accidents we have, they get an entranceway. We'll get an entranceway on that fence line as long as there is casualties and proven fact that there's a lot of accidents, and they're going to probably have a service, and there's going to be a fee, but there got to be convictions and reasoning why of so many car accidents. And if it becomes a truck stop or it becomes a frenzy, there's going to be a wall built so the community can be protected, and the buildings can be protected, and the neighborhood can be protected. So a big wall will probably be built, which that's in the works. That wall is in the works, and it's almost accomplished. That wall building around the entire, covering Mexico. There's Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California, and all those 5 borders is a wall. So Sunny Farms, and that's Taylor and Andy Miller at CO Benton, Washington. That's Andy Miller at CO Benton, Washington. Andy Miller is a prosecutor of Washington State. The computer, the laptops, the Verizon equipment are broken from this officer attacking me on the street of crossing the street, and I put my items down, and he kept on attacking me in so many ways. No warrants or outstanding warrants, I have no warrants for my arrest, and I could cross the street. It's not against the law crossing the street. Spokane, Washington knows that, Canada knows that, and of course, Oregon State knows that. There's no law crossing the street for crossing the street to your own property. Crossing the street on my own property, on my property, into my existing property, giving Mr. Eric Olson $450, another $250 for Olson, Eric D. Olson, 509-488-5651. That's a UBI number. He's a business owner, and he does sell houses, and we still have a lot of property that is always connected to Vista Utilities. Ajmer Singh has a restaurant, and he leases that out. Like Columbia Center Mall, we have islands inside the mall. We rent those out for $1,000. Our lots, our property ain't for sale. It's a rental agreement. See, that's Chase Bank. Charge them $1,000 a month, just the bank in our island. See, we have Starbucks in our island for $1,000 a month for their Starbucks. See, Starbucks don't have no building inside Starbucks anymore. They don't got cabinets. They don't got existing services. They got an island in the Columbia Center Mall. See, that island is $1,000 a month. See, it ain't for sale. And the services they provide, I know it's coffee, but Farm Brothers provides coffee for Starbucks. And Farm Brothers provides services for Seattle and Pike, downtown Pike, which is Pike University Place, which is Washington State University. See, those services they provide, information they got, the teachers, the doctors, the lawyers, the judges. See, they got judges, future lawyers, future nurses, future doctors, future surgeons, and pediatrics, and baby nurses, and newborns, jaundice. You got cancer patients. You got patients that are going under surgery because their services are expired, and other doctors come into position and help them in assisting, like CBHA here in Othello, Washington. CBHA is right next to J. Felice. Now, Mr. Felice, J. Felice, is a lawyer. Mr. McKinnon is a lawyer in Moses Lake. And also, Mr. Dallas Cooney Law Firm in Spokane, Washington, he's a lawyer. But the father's a judge. So when they become future judges, lawyers, doctors, surgeons, Vista Utility provides those services. A monthly fee. Simon Mall charges fees. P.F. Chains is right across the street from downtown Spokane, and those properties are leased out. Now, P.F. Chains puts their building in Simon's Mall parking lot without no permission or authority of building or scraping or digging on the property of Columbia Center Boulevard. Now, Verizon moved their services and expanded their building. Verizon building. We have a Verizon building here at their services. Now, this Verizon building they built on Cimaron 5 is on property, which belonged to Cimaron 5. But it's in a different name because they can manage that property. And if they can manage and prove themselves, as you can see, I am Felix Barela, and their services, the soil, the cherry trees on that property is cherry cheesecake. Now, Sunny Farms has pumpkins. Those pumpkin cheesecakes, all those pumpkins become cheesecake. Now their discount prices at Leprechaun, their discount prices at, of course, Spokane Cheesecake Company, Solari's. Now those services that provide for this police officer like attacking individuals across the street. He preys on victims. He preys on women. He preys on men. He preys on people that they can't defend themselves. They can't defend themselves as a, you don't speak English, and you speak a lot of Spanish, and your population of your mother, your father, siblings, you have no more. And then you have nothing left but yourself. So you see these individuals preying on you, hoping to catch you with a large amount of money, deposit it into your checking account, savings account, whatever the case might be. And the service of that situation, they'll sit there and manipulate the situation. You see, we're in City Hall, and we're also in City Hall with Bonnie and, of course, Yvonne Hernandez. And their services they provide. See, there's people that don't know much about the system, and they still have much to learn. I was simply crossing the street in Eric D. Olson's property. That property is that he owns a lot of property. And that coexists in the owners and owner coexistence, and clients after that knows who owns the property and knows how the system works. Witnessing this officer attacking me on the sidewalk. And we got camera, surveillance, body cams. You got first and last names. See, all these individuals in Adams County Courthouse has other individuals inside the system that know how the system works. How 3 meals a day, hot meals are served. Hot showers, and also hot showers, hot water, and a hot meal 3 times a day. Now the services, they know how the system works. Simply crossing the street, simply having $7,000 in cash, and definitely not going to be taken advantage by an individual like this ever again. This is Vista Utilities here, representing Mission Street in Spokane, Washington, representing Mr. and Mrs. Dallas, and that's Cooney Law Firm, and that's Jim Cooney, and that's Jim Logan, and runs Carpet Carousel, and now Mr. Sean Logan that runs his services, his own business. And his own business as well carries out his name. And that's Sean Logan's house got burnt down, but you know what? It got expanded and audited and served with the taxes. So those servers are reissued back to Sean Logan, reissued to Jim Logan, reissued to Social Security Office, reissued to the taxpayer here in Vista Utilities, and full amount. And their staff and their employees and their members of the Farm Bureau. 18 years of Farm Bureau paid in full. Now 18 years is life. That's priceless. 18 years is 1 year old to the day you're born out of urethra, out of a fallopian tube, out of the uterus of the mother and the mother of the siblings, which are grown up 18 years down the road. Realize that the Vista Utilities is a career change for future individuals that sees the system, the crooked system, how it is when someone from the street, crossing the street, officer making a scene here at the bowling alley here in Othello, Washington. The bowling alley in front of 1344 East Main Street, parking their vehicles, police car and sheriff vehicles, on the side of the street and attacking me across the street, and this officer in front of the casino and also the coffee shop and Cimaron 5IC and the hospital on 14th Avenue and at 315 315, 314 North 14th Avenue, and in front of the accountant, the chief accountant. Their services. And coming back there for individually, for no reason at all, non-influence of alcohol, no drinking, no drug possession, definitely not driving on a suspended license. I got a driver's license. I got credit cards. I got $7,000 in cash. Plus broken laptop and all equipment. And Annie Miller's laptop. I left it in Annie Miller's office, and that's the Washington Bar Association. And that's murder cases, stipulations, drug possessions, trafficking, MIPs, MICs, contributing to minors, selling cigarettes to minors, selling beer to minors, selling people that have no authority. You're not at legal age of alcohol, not legal age of smoking, not legal age of possession of anything over 40 grams is a Class C felony. Basically, that's another charge. Driving on a suspended, a DUI, and of course the BAC code, which is the breath analyzing code, and which is your point average, and you're age 15, and you're age 15, and you're getting your driver's license, and you can't get your driver's license until you're 18 because of that offense. You can't get your driver's license because you're 15 and a half. 16, but you're going to have to wait till you're 18. See, all these services and all these abstract records, department license is on your record for life, basically. So there's no escaping that. So this individual police officer, and everybody knows his name, everybody knows who he is, and their services, and this is a Vista Utilities. And being a business owner and carrying yourself as your individual as it is and who you is and what it is ain't going too far. Instead of fabricating and lying to people about this or that, and you don't even show up for your court date, you don't even come to your services. And that's Carol J. Benzel, the judge here in Adams County, here in Othello, here in the services in Annie Miller in Pasco, Richland, in Kennewick, Seattle, Tacoma, and also downtown Seattle, Starbucks, and also of course, the Superdome, the Super Bowl, and the services they provide. See, they got a stipulation of DOSA and diversion. Now, DOSA is a case that you can have your services taken care of, any matters, and work it off. Diversion, that's a California ordinance. Most of these people from Washington State are from California, and that's Secretary of State Kim Wayman. These services reflect on UBI number, on your business activities, and also your services in all banks. I'll loan Ajmer Singh Nijjar from Cimaron 5 in India anytime. I'll loan him $1 million any time of the day, night, day, weekend, holiday, no problem. Give him some credit cards, services, signature, with my signature and initials. Mr. Andy Miller wants some credit cards and payment receipts for expanding his buildings here in 712 West Okanagan Place. He wants his Washington bar expanded. I'll do that with the signature, with no problem at all. I'll give him a laptop and leave it on his desk, and he can have everything recorded and downloaded and submitted. And Secretary Kim Wayman, she's from the United States Army, and she is the, of course, election campaign for the United States of America, and that's Olympia. Now, driving from California and driving back to Olympia and to her office, that's an honor to have her services served and the paper documents signed in front of her, so she can consider to be elected 4 more years. Melissa McKnight, our Knight, assessor for Alfredo, Washington, another 4 years. And this is Vista Utilities. There's no escaping. We got oil, you got Colville, you got Yakima Reservation, you got oil in Colville, inheritance everywhere. And Mr. Donald Trump, Melania Trump, and that's a statue of Simba across the street, the Chamber of Commerce, basically. commissioner, judges, and also the Civic Center that was not there, now is there. It's called Shenanigans. Right next to Shenanigans is the Civic Center. Things change. Azteca is not there in the Simons Mall no more. Azteca is no more there, and Starbucks is no more there. Starbucks coffee is stored in the hallways into a facility, and that island is $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month. So things change. PF Chains is on the property. The property they dig on Columbia Center Mall ain't their property, and it ain't for sale. Post offices ain't for sale. It's for lease. All those post officers are for lease, not for sale. Those banks, the deposit inquiries, those banks, those services they provide for the FDIC, so their policy for the Social Security Office will let you know. Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve is the Federal Reserve, and they issue out the checks in your first, last name, and Social Security card number. Verification on your UBI number, your signature, your fingerprint, your voice activation, Microsoft, and your sensitive for your laptops is also fingerprint sensor, voice activation, word password, swipe, and also any swiping or deviations of calibrations for the service for weighing you, and also making sure you're vaccinated once a year with those 3 hot meals. See, when you're 15 and you get a DWI, you won't get your driver's license until you're 18, because you're going to be watched by your mother and father until you're 18, and then you get your driver's license because you screwed up and got caught drinking and driving, and you had a driver's license, but you don't have it no more. But you get that chance back when you turn 18. But this is a Vista Utilities. This goes back into your file systems. This goes all the way to your FBI number. This goes to the first day that you come in and have your services activated on any system, computer system in the world. Any 50 states. Any foreign states will not know. And if you lose your information, it's always there, because you're a United States citizen. That's the part they don't let you know. Every time you walk a Social Security office in a bank, just because of me, just because I went to California and walked back into Kim Wayman's office, just because of that. See election campaigns, ballot forms, fingerprints, sensors, and also the military status of all statutes. And there's no escaping that. There's no escaping that, just because this is Vista Utilities. And this is the Grunt Towers, the Vista Poles, Valley, South Hill, I-90, 395s, 360, 395, South 395, I-90, Newport Highway 2, Canada, Newport Highway, Oregon, I-82, Oregon State, Washington State, Idaho State, Washington State, and also Canada and Washington State, Oregon and Washington State, Idaho, Washington State. See, these services, just because I go to California and back California, New Mexico, which is Area 51, walking in Area 51, inside hangars, processing plants, services, military rigs, military equipment, Apaches, Blackhawks, Chinooks, and don't forget these services they have for Cobra. Now, they got Mustangs, they got Camaros, they got Cadillacs, they got Cougars, and they got, of course, ZRs, they got Corvette, ZR1s, Porsches, Lamborghinis, and of course, they got Mercedes, and all, of course, Tundras, Sequoias, Toyotas, and Highlander, which is San Luis Obispo, and there's tons of clients in Sunset Acres. You got Obispo, the family member Obispo, and all these services they got, Sunset Acres, on that water line, the railroad, and also the Spencer and the profit leisure tax that's gone up. Because I am Felix Barela, Davenport Hotel, Historic Hotel, and the oil that's inherited. And that's Allah the King. As you can recognize, Mr. Allah King, the Saudi Arabian father, grandfather, children, siblings, and children, and also the future children, and Mumu Ganja and Ivanka Barela, and don't forget Tiffany and Baron Barela, and also the service of Mr. Donald Trump, Melania Trump, and Roberta Barela, and the services that she carried on to her spite, to her grave. She carried it to her grave for services for Mr. and Mrs. and the services they provide for the casinos in Yakima, Washington. Now, the leaders are taxed for the Bravo military base. Leniency on that for me walking all the way from Area 51 to all the way to Secretary of State Kim Wyman's office from California. The beaches of Pismo, Avalos, Pacifics, and also the military Los Angeles, and which is a propeller, the nuclear propeller on Los Angeles war class, is emblems and, of course, the surfaces and air missiles, and also the USS Chicago missile cruisers. The deliberations and their service for the general election campaign services. There's no escaping that. This is Vista Utilities here in Othello, Washington, providing services and nuclear power activities for Queensgate and Gold's Gym in Kennewick, in Ely, Green, and also the green services they provide for the reserves for calibrations for the nuclear activity and nuclear current and the turbines for all the dams that contribute for the services here with Vista Utilities. And that's Ajmer Singh Nijjar, Nindu Mandeep Kandar, grandfather, my grandmother, and grandfather, my grandmother, and grandfather. This is George Washington House in the background. George Washington House in the background is my grandmother. And on the emblems on the Muslim, not Muslim, the mausoleum, which says United States citizens, original United States citizens, and George Washington's bodies, and also John F. Kennedy dead bodies on the property, Bobby and John, and his services that he provided knocking on the door at 1313 West Grand Ronde, and he was a president of the United States of America. 2 months later, he was assassinated in downtown Texas. Brought his body down in the hearse with J. Mueller Administration Office, and that's United States Air Force, Gerald Johnson, United States Army, Leonard Babcock, United States Marine Corps, Gerald Johnson, Green Berets, and also the services that provide Mr. Frank Kamusko, United States Navy, and also the services that contribute of rescuing George Bush Sr., Jay Mueller, and Mr. McCain. Coming to you live here at Vista. The look here facility inner services they have contribute for their service, Miss Secretary Kim Wyman, Melissa Midnight, Larissa Perez, and also the San Luis Obispo, the services they provide for the long walk in Area 51 and surfacing coming, of course, to their office and serving them. My driver license, CDL, license A and B classification, services for their services and general elections campaigns in person. Individual person. Secretary Kim Wyman, she went to surgery, she got some cancer, she got removed. She understands the services they're providing for the United States of America. And she's pretty much born again. She's realizing what they did, of course, and what they did wrong. I was crossing the street here in Othello, Washington. Live here. We have a UBI business number. This is Vista Utilities. Andy Miller at CO Benton, Washington. Now, Andy Miller is 509-735-3591. Fax is 509-736-306. 509-736-3066. Online is Andy Miller at CO Benton, Washington, U.S. Check it out.